visual and aesthetic preferences. And then we'll kind of regroup at the end to go over some more nitty gritty with your website, site map, domain, etc., call cadence, things like that. So that's the framing. I'll be hanging out in the background. I might pop in and out. I'm usually working on your mood board and some things in the backgrounds, but you might get interrupted. We might ask you to go on some crazy tangents, but yeah, goal here is just to have fun. It's not super high pressure. And you're in very amazing, capable hands with Lilith, who's also very personally interested in your industry and the work that you do as well.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. Great to be here.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you kick it off, Lilith. I'll let you take it away. And like I said, I'll be kind of popping in and out.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
Thank you.
Hey, Nima. How are you?
Good, Lilith. How you doing?
Good. Finally nice to be talking with you. Like Gabrielle said, I've just watched like so many videos on you and I'm like, here we finally are. So it's really good to see you.
Of course. Same here. So I hope you're getting some good feedback from doing some research on me.
What was that?
I said, I hope you're getting some good feedback based on the research that you're doing on me.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a lot of great feedback. So are you in Orlando right now?
Yes, I live in Orlando, Florida.
And where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Iran, so I went through a journey. That's like a whole other part of my story is coming. How did I come to the States? I was born in Iran, and my brother was born in the States. My parents were living in the States, and they went to Iran for vacation, and then all the craziness happened. The regime changed, so I got stuck there with them. And I left Iran when I was 14 years old because I didn't believe there was a rule or a law in the country that after 14, then you would have to stay to serve the military before you could leave the country. So I didn't believe in war, and I just couldn't imagine grabbing a gun and wanting to like take somebody else's life. So it was very scary to me. So I was always talking to my parents that I don't want to stay in this country, like I don't want to go to war. So I asked them to take me out of the country. So on my 14th birthday, my father came home and he's like, Nima, grab your bags, I'm taking you out. So we drove to the border without saying bye, like anything to my families or anything. And I went to Turkey, and I lived in Istanbul for a while. And from there, there was a group of people in Bulgaria that they could help me become a refugee in Canada. So I went to Bulgaria in the hopes of being there for 2 weeks to get my paperwork all taken care of so I could fly to Canada. But the people that were supposed to take care of my travels and take care of my things, I guess they weren't very legit. So we gave them a lot of money, and they was a part of this Bulgarian mafia or something. So there was a shootout, and the police in Bulgaria killed the guys that were supposed to take me to Canada. So then I got stuck there for 4 years, not understanding their language, and not having any money, not having anywhere to stay. So I was pretty much homeless for 4 years, living I was living as a missionary. So I went to a Christian high school, and I told them my story, and I started to start living with different missionary families that were in Bulgaria from the States, and they actually taught me how to speak English, and that's where my journey started. I really wanted to come to the States. My goal was to become a heart surgeon. I wanted to become a doctor because it was a big heart issue in my dad's side of family, and like my grandpa passed away at 41. My dad had to put a pacemaker at 31, and we had a lot of issues in the family tree. So I really wanted to come and educate myself and see if I could. And I was a very, very smart kid ever since I was a child. And one thing about me was that even when I was in Iran, I had this. I was what they call a crystal child. So ever since I was 5 years old, I had I could communicate. I would communicate with different higher frequencies, and like there was something that I grew up with, and I would my father would take me to meditations, and I was raised by like the gurus and the people that do a lot of high level meditations to teach me like how to master my mind and my thoughts. So and that was a part of my conversations with my father growing up, that that's a part of like I my goal, my mission was to see how I could reach purity in my lifetime, to become I believe that how Jesus became light, that I believe that we all can become light if we follow his footsteps and like do things exactly the way that it's a higher vibration that would turn into us being able to have those kind of experiences. So I was always a very spiritual person, and I had a very big spiritual background. And while I was in Bulgaria, and in the 4 years I was stuck there, the only fun that I had was meditation, because I didn't have money to watch. We didn't have TV. I didn't have like anything to want to entertain myself. So then what I would do, I would sit there and I would go in deep meditations, and I would visualize things, and I would like create my own movie in my mind, and like I have a my own field day in my imagination, and that became something like very, very powerful. 4 years of practicing, just like going into my mind and like going into a place of like a safe zone to be able to give myself like a break. So while I was practicing those kind of to me it was like a game of meditation, one time I decided to meditate about my future. And while I was sitting there, I started envisioning myself like 20, 30 years from now. And what I saw was very empowering. That as a child that I was, 14, 15 years old, I saw myself as who I am today. And
Wow.
I saw the house that I lived in, I saw the car I was driving, I saw my wife, and I saw the life that I was living. And to me, I could not imagine that at that stage for me to have that kind of a lifestyle. But something shifted in me, that once that meditation happened, then I believe that, we are, and that was always the mind games that I would, play with myself about reality, that how,
Right.
everything is a concentration of our attention and our focus. And I truly believe that we could shape our own future based on focusing and really learning how to control our thoughts. That was a game that I started to play with that meditation, and I started to focus on that meditation, and I started envisioning myself living in the States, and that's where I saw myself. It was just like I was in the States living, and I was having that kind of a reality. And what happened was magical.
Yeah.
Within a few weeks of that meditation that happened to me, I received a letter from a congressman in the United States that they invited me in a humanitarian case to come to the United States. So with a paper and a signature, I crossed all borders, and I came to the U.S. when I
Wow.
was 18 years old. And that's really where my passion comes for light working, because I've been to the deepest, to the darkest spots that not too many people will experience in their lives, and I have seen so much hatred, and at the same time I've seen so much love and so much light that allowed me to come through all those struggles. It was truly love that helped me get through the rough times and be able to go through my journey. And that was a big empowering movement in my own life, that I envisioned that, and I wished that upon everyone, that if people could really truly experience life, then they would have a deeper respect for humanity, for why we're here and how we are all the same. And it was a journey for me. I was born in an Islamic country, Muslim, and then going to Bulgaria and living with missionaries and understanding about Christianity and falling in love with Jesus, and then coming to the States and learning about Buddhism, about meditation, about Hinduism, and really deepening my understanding on that. Then I truly believe that I truly believe every single religion is a right religion, and I truly believe that they're all just guidelines that guide us to the final goal, which is the same goal that every single religion direct us. So to me, religion is a guideline for spirituality. That once we can truly become pure and we can truly follow the guidelines that have been passed on to us, then those are ancient wisdom to become enlightened. And once we become enlightened, then that's a goal. That's like I feel like that's why we go through the experience of life, to be able to reach a level that we can have a deeper understanding for why we're here and what is the mission. So while having that mindset, I came to the States finally. I started going to school, and I was a senior in high school, and I was always a very I was an A grade student, top grade student. So I got scholarships, and at 19, when I was 19, I got accepted to a gifted program at the University of Florida doing genetic research on cloning bacteria. So that really opened me up to the scientific field. When I was in my science classes, my professors always were fascinated by my understanding about biology and microbiology and the interactions of photons. So they always were telling me that ever since I was a young kid that you're going to be somebody very special in the future because of your level of understanding about our reality. And they would always promote me to different gifted programs to really help me to shape my understanding. And after completing that program, I got and we successfully cloned the bacteria within 3 months at the University of Florida. And I got many different letters of recommendation to different universities to become a medical doctor. So then I started my medical program. I became a pre-med. I started to study microbiology. And since that was my research on genetics, and I was very fascinated by microbiology and cell science. So after going through the program for a little bit, for about 2 years, I was in the pre-med program, and what I realized was all I'm learning is just Latin words, interaction of drugs, and things that wasn't really my vision of healing and really getting to the bottom of things. So I got a little bit turned off, and I switched my major from pre-med to computer science. And I went to University of Central Florida, which was one of the highest level of educations for computer science at the time. And I became a computer engineer, and I graduated at the top level of my class in the dean's list at the University of Florida. So then, while I was going through software engineering and understanding and studying logic, there was so many fascinating fields about quantum
physics. Quantum.
No, the word is just jump out of my head. It's almost like quantum calculations, to be able to understand a quantum field through a mathematical model. And our goal was to create different type of computer programs to be able to mimic a quantum technology, which now we're just talking about AI and things like that. These are the things that we were working on when I was going through my program, my computer science program. And I really became a very powerful logical thinker and a software engineer, that I was able to write an entire operating system myself, just to be able to graduate from the program. So building a computer from zero all the way to completion, and using the software, using the hardware, and the whole shebang. So that was really the project that I was able to complete to become a computer engineer. And I started my own company, and I became I was a very successful software engineer. My focus was on social media marketing and on e-commerce. So I would design different types of programs that would help, businesses create communities or to be able to sell their digital products on the web. And that became a very successful company, became a multi-million-dollar company when I was 20, my early 20s. And it was a lot of work, my English still wasn't that great. I was still struggling and trying to run a company and understanding about the laws and everything that's here. So it was a little bit of a challenge for me, and that gave me a lot of stress. And all of a sudden I started to feel that I would get heart palpitations when I was just sitting here having a conversation with you. My heartbeat would jump to a few hundred beats a minute, and I would become very kind of pale in the face, and I would get cold sweats, and I just wouldn't be able to really carry a conversation. I would have to sit in the corner, and then I would go back to my meditations and kick in and start kind of working with myself to be able to bring my rhythm into a normal range to be able to continue my day. So this became to a point that started to really interfere with my day-to-day activity. A few times a day, it was just kind of embarrassing. Or you're like, are you okay? Do we need to take you to a doctor, or are you okay? I'm like, just no, I can just meditate. I can go walk through it. But then I got to a point, I'm like, okay, I need to go check this out. So I went to my regular doctor, and I'm like, this is what's happening with me. I don't know what's going on. So they hooked me up to an EKG machine, and they told me that I have abnormal EKG. And they said that I have to go to a cardiologist right away. From right there, my doctor called a cardiologist that he was in contact with. They booked me an appointment, and they rushed me to the cardiologist from his office. So, and at the time, I was very athletic. I was a semi-professional soccer player. I was a semi-professional wakeboarder. So I always loved to be very active. And I thought, what was that?
I was say, you were really active, so it's kind of feels like it's not really lining up.
Exactly. So then, I'm like, I'm doing everything right. I don't have an ounce of fat on my body. How the heck do I have heart problems? So then they did a few hours of testings on me. They were doing a stress testings on me, shooting me with dyes to see how blood is moving through my system. And they came and while I was actually on the machine, there was a lady, it was a nurse that came and connected the blood pressure monitor and was kind of monitoring me and looking at this screen. And she had this almost a frightened look on her face when she was looking at my EKG graph because of the way that it was just kind of fluctuating. And she turned around and looked at me, and she was like, how old are you? And I was like, I was 33 at the time. And she was like, that's really interesting. That's when Jesus started to have his revelations, when he was at 33. And when she said that to me, it was just just this, I don't know, it was just these chills that just started to go all through my body. That right there and then, it just a lot of things became clear for me. That my life path was to come to the States, to become a doctor, to help humanity, to help my family tree. But then I came and I became a software engineer, and I was making a lot of money. So then my mission kind of took a backseat. And that moment when that lady told me that, it clicked for me. That, what? It was almost like a relief that I almost got this sense of calmness that this is a test. That I understood that, I'm being put to a place that I have to make a decision that's going to really change and shift my reality. And I sat with the doctors. They told me that, I have to put a pacemaker on. Otherwise, they don't know how much longer my heart will be able to function. So I was just very calmly, I smiled and I told them that, no, I'm not going to do a surgery. And they were like, well, if you don't and you walk out of here, if something happens to you, you have to sign a release form so your parents can come and sue us and this and that. So they really made it real for me. So I had to sign paperwork and contracts that, yes, I'm releasing you from, any harm or whatever. So I left the office that day. And at 33, I was like, okay, what if I really only have 2 weeks to live? So then I sat there, I started to write down my will to like exactly, if something happens to me, I'm not here anymore, then I want to make sure that like everything's taken care of. And then I'm like, okay, what is really, like, it just like life has started to make a different meaning to me. That what is the point of life? Like, why are we like, truly here? If we just come here, have children, and we work, we make money, and then we get older and we all die, then like really, what's the point? So then I started to think that, okay, if what if I only have 2 weeks left, and if I'm focusing on money and this and that, like I don't care. There's no matter how many zeros I have in front of my bank account, like I can't take a dime with me. So then I started to think, what is really valuable in life? Like, what do we really get to take with us when we are at that moment that we're about to cross over? Then, like, what is truly valuable? And that's when love became the only currency, the only commodity to me. That truly love, and how much we love here, how much we do good here, how much we truly help humanity. Like that's what we get to take with us. And nobody can take that away from us. So that completely like shifted from really being focused into the business and really trying to run that. Then I just like, it didn't make sense to me anymore. That why would I even want to go one extra day to want to run a company that was focused on generating money instead of generating something more valuable? So I had a conversation with my team, and overnight I shut down my company. So
Wow.
it was a huge shock for a lot of businesses we're working with. I mean, we're doing like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month of revenue with different companies. And
Like you're taking profit, don't do this.
oh yeah, they thought I'm going crazy. They thought you are losing it. You don't know how many people love to be in your seat right now. You're banking, you're here, you just like this, that. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. So I started traveling the world. I wanted to truly understand what is healing about, and like, what is the definition of health, and how do we, like, what is our goal here? Like, what is the big picture? What are we doing here? And I started to travel to all different conferences. I would go all around different countries. I would meet with top level scientists, doctors, shamans. And it was so easy. Like, everybody would, wanted to meet with me. Everybody was green doors. Everywhere I went, it was just like, yes, you're welcome. Yes, yes. It was just like yeses. So it was just like a beautiful flow that I was going, and the universe was just introducing me to different people, different really like key players that are doing research in health and wellness and biofield. And through these journeys, I ended up in Russia, in St. Petersburg, Russia, at the Bioenergy Conference. And I, being a software engineer, having a very analytical mind, I have to analyze. I have to make everything like logical for myself in order for it actually like allow it to influence my system. So then I needed to have that scientific proof about everything that I was being exposed to. So I was learning about meditation, breath work, Reiki, vibration therapies, right frequencies, all different types of natural ways that we could influence our own system. And to me, it was really, really encouraging, really fascinating, and I wanted to understand more. I wanted to learn more. So I started to do a lot of research to find a really powerful program that I could go back to school, and I could learn more about exactly like what's happening. And I found this university that they were offering a degree in PhD and doctorate in quantum physics. So I went to Quantum University, and I enrolled at Quantum University. And at the time was right before enrolling at the university, I was after my trip to Russia, I was introduced to the BioWell technology, which was a technology, a device that would measure the biofield, or the human energy in real time. And my goal was to understand how, like, before and after meditation, sound healing, breath work, like what is actually happening to our system. And at first I was just sitting there, having my practices from being a child, and like how to meditate, how to do different things. Like, I knew how to get to specific modes and how to, like, I would get to areas that I would get shiver like all around my bodies, and I would really, feel like, in communication and in connection. But I never like scientifically researched myself to see like when I'm getting these feelings, what's really happening in my body. And that was what I really wanted to understand, because then, being a very logical thinker, like, in a computer science, they teach you to be like, you have to learn things step by step. It's almost like learning a language, that you have to learn different things like vocabulary, and then you have to be able to make sentences, but with logic.
Yeah.
So then this way, I had to be able to start, do before after research on meditation, on breath work, on sound healing, to be able to like show myself, prove to myself what does it really happen, and then see what helps me in what areas to be able to continue doing things that were actually helping me, and then filtering out things that were not really, doing me justice, because, I didn't, for me, there was like a time limit that they gave me 2 weeks. So I was in a kind of like every day was a gift that day that was being added to that, death sentence that they gave me. So then after doing a lot of research with the BioWell on myself, and really like going to parks, I would just go to parks because I needed some more data. I was really starting to understand how like energy like moves into my own system, how it's influencing my thoughts, my emotions. But then I needed more data. So then I would go to my city. I'll go to parks. I'll go to places people do yoga, meditation, and I would just go talk to them, introduce myself, and let them know that, this is the research I'm doing. And everybody was very welcoming, very like, opening, and they would invite me to their groups to, yeah, we would love to see like, how our chakra is looking before and after meditation or like yoga. So then it just, became a life of its own. Then I just, for a few years, I was just like going and researching hundreds of people, thousands of people, of looking at their before and after. Like, for example, and this message was spreading in Orlando, in my community, and we have a lot of healers in town here. So then like we would meet in parks, and I would have all different types of healers that would come to meet with me, to want to like, see for themselves. First of all, they had some sort of a doubt on what they're doing. They wanted to come see, okay, like, when we're doing the before after research, how is actually their technologies or their modalities influencing people. And just by sitting with all these amazing people, and like every single one of them just like sharing so much, and like, just learning, like after over 10,000 cases that I did, then it just like, I just became like the encyclopedia of holistic healing, because, like I could not ask for an education higher than that, by being educated by, highest level healers and researchers and doctors, that now I was a part of their research team, and I was, learning from every single one of them of what works for them and what doesn't. So that became very, very empowering for me, to the point that, I really got the sense of like what's happening when we were looking at the biofield. Like, at first, like I would have to scan somebody. It would take me about an hour to want to sit there, take a look at it, to see what the heck is going on here. But, finally I got to a point that, within seconds, that I could just do a scan, look at the biofield, and sometimes without even scanning a person, I got to a point just by looking at the person and by looking at their field, I could immediately tell what areas they have misbalances, and then I would scan them on the BioWell, and then I would show exactly how, like, I could even, tell without doing a scan, and it would correlate, it would match. So then this, became very powerful. A lot of, doctors and scientists wanted to come and work with me and research. So we started to create Gaia Healers, which is, we created the Light Workers app, which was a community of light workers, to get everybody that's, that has this intention for healing of the humanity of Gaia, to come together in one space so we could collaborate and share. And that turned into
now, quickly is just real quick, sorry, so is light workers a term that is widely known for people who want to heal humanity, or is that a term that you coined?
No, light workers, I did not know if that was a term, but ever since I was younger, I when I was I was like 20, and I was like 18. Yeah, I was 18 years old. One thing I forgot to tell you. When I was 18, I was
Mhm.
my parents used to run medical spas, and I would, I was like, I love my mom. I always wanted to
Mhm.
help her. So even though like I had my, like running my business or whatever, I'll try to help her, like at her medical spa. And one day when I was 18 years old, when I was there, there was and this is when I was much younger, back, a little bit further back. There was this lady that walked into the medical spa, and she was an older lady. She was maybe in her 70s or something. She had all gray hair and piercing blue eyes. That just very, very like a like angelic looking person that walked into the store and came right up to me and started just looking directly into my eyes without communicating with me. And then after a few minutes, she started talking to me, like kind of like an uncomfortable, situation a little bit. Then she started talking to me that I am a meditation coach, that I work with the White House, and I do, they do a lot of um, like I don't know. She was like one of the advisors to the White House, because she was like a very, very high level intuitive healer, and like a practitioner or somebody.
Mhm.
So she came and she told me that she needs
Yeah.
to teach me some things, and that I have some questions from her. And that's when, I told you, when I was a child, I always had these like communications that, I felt like I was communicating, and there were some things that, or was messages I was receiving. So that was always a question in my head, that am I like
Right.
crazy, or like, am I really like having some sort of a, like, am I channeling, like, am I actually like, communicating? And like, to me, like, I always knew, because like I
Right.
always felt like, it was like I had a whole family that I couldn't see, but they were always there helping me. So this lady was like, you have a question in your mind
Mhm.
that you've been waiting for years to ask somebody. You need to come and ask me that question so I can give your answer so you can start your journey. So I'm like, what the heck? She's like, yeah, this Sunday, come to my house, and I'll have a session with you. So I'm like, okay. And it was like so real that really like hit
Wow.
me deep. So I go to her house on Sunday. I'm afraid, like, I was a very good looking guy. Like, I had a lot of women that, especially be like a medical center, like a spa, like always women like wanted to like date me or something. So I'm like, I hope this lady is just like trying to take me to her
Yeah,
house or
yeah,
something. So I go to her house, and she sits there
yeah.
and she starts teaching me like deep level meditation. Like, she would take me, and like
Wow.
I'll ask her questions. Without even asking her questions, she would start answering my questions. Like, she would read my mind, and she would just communicate with me.
Mhm.
So then, before I knew what chakras are, what these colors are, what anything, she would sit me and she would give me practices to close my eyes and to go within myself. And then my practice was to go and find my chakras, and then to tell her what color they are. So,
Mhm.
and like, I would go and I would come up with the right colors, and I would like come up, find all like seven of them. I would tell her, and she's like, dead on. Like, I would, without even understanding any of this. So then, like, she started to really train me
Mhm.
in very, very deep levels of meditation, to the point that like we could do galaxy hopping. Like, we would jump from one universe to a different universe, and like, she would guide me
Mhm.
through, like, walking through different universes and experiencing how different entities have different realities, like, to that level.
Mhm.
So that's what really like started to like open up, and give me trust in my like intuitive like intuitions that I was getting throughout my life. And then moving forward now to the Lightworkers app, and like, creating that, I always was when right around the times that I was going through meditations with her, I started to see these numbers that would happen, that would appear in front of me, that didn't matter where I would go. I would see the number 1111 that would appear like repeatedly. Didn't matter where. I'll look at the clock, was 1111. I'll look at my watch. I look at the oven. I look at, like, it was just to the point that I thought I'm going crazy. So it came to a point that I went onto the Google. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the heck is 1111? I did 1111 meaning, and then it came up with this story of light workers, that when you are getting initiated as a light worker, then you start seeing these numbers of 1111. That's an initiation number, that you are falling into your right path. So then I started to really get into big into numerology, and really understanding, okay, what do numbers mean? And I started to understand that how, and being a computer scientist, like, we just work with numbers. We work with ones and zeros. That's the language of the universe. And now, by having these kind of understanding about numbers and the repetition, I became very, very powerful in understanding numerology. So I studied many, many books on numerology, and I really, really started to understand what do the different combinations of numbers mean. And once I mastered that, then then I gave almost like my spiritual world a way to communicate with me. And then from that point on, my entire life to this day has been guided through numbers. That every time I have a thought, if my thought is a line with the specific task that is will bring goodness to humanity, then I get confirmations. I get numbers, and then through the meaning of the numbers, they guide me through exactly how to run my company. I would say Gaia Healers, my company. I'll say this: our CEO is Source, because the way I run our company is through meditations and through the guidance that I get, and those are the decisions that we make. So then the whole journey of Lightworkers came together, and I started to understand that it's not only me seeing 1111, it's a universal phenomenon that many, many people around the world are experiencing this. So then I created the Lightworkers app, because now it was so fascinating to me. And I went and I was doing research on what is a Lightworker. And because 1111 was like the activation of Lightworkers. So then when I studied on what is a Lightworker, and there is a creed of Lightworkers that once I read that, it was defining me my whole life. So then that really gave me, and that creed is so amazing. I wish I could share that with you. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I can share my screen with you. Maybe we can use that in our different types of branding, because that's a powerful creed for our movement.
Yeah.
So let me bring it up on my phone and I can share it with you. You can just Google it, Lightworkers Creed.
Yeah, I just Googled Lightworkers app, but let me go to Lightworkers Creed.
Yeah, Lightworkers Creed is, it says, I am a Lightworker. I awoke so that others may awaken. I learn so that others may also learn. I transform so that others may transform. I lighten my load so that others may change theirs. I learn to see so that others may also see. I forgive myself so that others may also forgive. I love myself so that I can bring out love in others. I am a light worker. I live to give comfort. I live to shine love and light unto others. I live to heal. I live to, the bottom part, give hope. And the bottom part of it is covered up. So that's a creed of a light worker. And if you look at my movement, it's exactly that. It's like, I'm learning, I'm going through life, and as I'm learning and I'm mastering things, and I'm educating and I'm teaching others. So like that is our creed. That is our, that's what the Lightworkers app came around. But then it somehow kind of like missed, because then as we started to get into, I became, after I, used the bio wall, and I was able to, within 6 months of, following my meditations, following sound healing, really fine-tuning my research into seeing exactly what's happening within my system when I was getting palpitations, then I realized that I'm sensitive to caffeine and to coffee and spicy food. And those are the things, when I was eating them, it was causing a lot of overactivation in my stomach, and that would lead into causing my diaphragm push into my heart and causing palpitations. So then by understanding that those are my sensitivities, I removed caffeine and everything from my diet, and my palpitations completely stopped. And now it's 13, 14 years later that I have been just continuing going through that, working through breath, working through sound, and rebalancing my energy so that I don't allow that come in. But once I was able to get that, and I was very very verbal. I was on social media, I was doing videos, I was really like telling people every day. I would wake up, I'll tell them, I do a scan, I'll show them my chakras, and then I'll do like essential oils, meditation, and then I'll show them how I'm able to align my chakras. And BioWell company invited me to, they were very fascinated with the research I was doing on myself, and they invited me to join their team as a global educator and distributor. So then once I started working with BioWell, then it just like became a very natural phenomenon, because I was at Quantum University. I was really furthering my education there, and I was in touch with many healers and holistic practitioners there. And what I saw missing at Quantum University was that they had a lot of modalities, but they didn't have a technology that could measure what I was researching. So then I started to set up meetings with the president of and founder of the university, and I was able to show him how he's missing this element, this powerful element from his school, that he's just giving them theory, but there's no actual way for them to, especially being on like an online school, then there's no way for the students to actually be able to measure to see if they're actually doing things the right way. So then I came and I pitched them the idea, and I introduced BioWell to Quantum University, and they came and they accepted it. They launched a program on it. So then I'm pretty popular at Quantum University, and for introducing BioWell there. And from there, then I started to, of course, create a large population of holistic practitioners that would purchase the BioWell. They go through training with me, and we ended up having hundreds of practitioners around the world. That now at this point, when we were, this mission was growing, then I started seeing that okay, I need to create systems to now help all these practitioners that are that they're seeing my mission, they're seeing the vision of how we can really help humanity by helping them, educating them about their bioenergy. Then I felt like now, by all of the powerful backings that I had from being a software engineer, having all clinical research background, and everything else, the marketing companies that I had created. So I was at the perfect place with the perfect tools to now be able to help all of these practitioners that came on board of actually create businesses. Is one of the gifts that I've always had is a gift of communication and entrepreneurship. So I can be put into any position, and I can turn that into a very profitable program that would help many people. So that's been a gift that I've always had since I've been a child. So then and that's how I was able to, when I was 20 something years old, to, manage a multi-million-dollar company, being a CEO, a founder of the company. So then now I'm like, okay, most of the healers that will come to our communities, these are fascinating, amazing people that they're just there. They want to help humanity, but they have no clue about running a business. And every single one of them was just, they're like,
That's about right.
yeah, they're like, I just want to do it for free. I'm like, yeah, like I did it for free too. Like, once I was going through my journey, when I was going to parks, when I was doing all this research, I wasn't charging a dime. Like, I did this for years. Even after my healing journey was completed, I still wanted to understand, okay, how do we heal other issues now? So I did this for a long period of time, and I was so fascinated. It was so fascinating to me that I didn't want to accept any money for it. It felt wrong to me, to the point that I got to a place that I couldn't even afford to pay my rent anymore. I was so dedicated to just it was my 24/7. I was just when I focus on something, I give it all of my energy, and that's what actually creates it. And that's a gift that I have, that I can maintain that focus. So then this became a powerful movement. Then I'm like, okay, now let me come and let me put a directory together so I can get all these practitioners listed in there, so we can actually start marketing them, to sending them some business now that they have the devices, they know what they're doing. Let's create a business for them. So then, being a software engineer, we started to create systems, and we created this software for them that, and going through and trying to after 10 years of experience with the science, then my level of understanding is completely different than your regular person. And it was so hard for me to want to bring these newbies that are just coming in, to bring them, and they all wanted to be at my level. They wanted to talk like me. They wanted to look at people and have the conversations the way I do it. But then there's a big gap that they would really try hard, but I had so much more experience. I had so much more research that it's just it was second nature to me. So then I'm like, okay, how do I solve this issue for these practitioners? So I created the software, and I took the 10,000 cases that I'd had, and we used AI and machine learning, and we created a software program that would now automatically analyze the data for any biowell practitioner. So they could do the scan. They don't need to go through learning this and that. They click one button of what needs attention, and then it will show them all the systems that needs attention. So
Okay.
then after that, the first question after, we educate people about what issues they have and, what areas they need to pay attention to. The first question they ask us is, oh my God, this is such amazing information. Thank you. How can you help me now? Like, you just gave me all this bad news about I have this issue, that issue, that issue. Like, what do I do now? And that's the part that like I would get stuck, right, myself. Like, when I was going through and I was practicing. And that's why I went back to school to really like learn about like all different ways of, okay, now how do I help these people now? What I can tell them what issues they have. So
Yeah.
then I started to, the more and more I learned from and I'm a PhD doctor right now. So, through my education and process, then everything that I would learn, and that would be like research that I would do with the BioWorld, and I would put it into the software so that now at this point they can do a scan. And based on, let's say somebody shows like their thyroid is overactive. Like for your normal practitioner, like they don't know what's good for the thyroid. But now they can just click on the thyroid, and based on the research that we have of different products, different supplements, different natural products that would influence that area positively in an energetic way, that they will have access to it now. And they can from right there like recommend it to their clients or buy it for themselves. And we are giving them commissions for actually using the research that we're doing and sharing the products with their customers. And then we created a system that would make a website for their customers. As soon as they would create an account for them, it would create a custom blank website for their customer. And then the practitioner, using the BioWell information and other information that we built into the software, that they can just analyze the information from the person and add information to their website, so that the clients can at any time log into their website and take a look at what areas they need to pay attention to, what are some services that's recommended for them, and what are some products that are recommended for them. And we wanted to create a network between our service providers. So then we created a service sharing program that now, even though we're just marketing their BioWell scans, but now if somebody would scan and look at the issue a person has based on the zip code of the customer, now they can add actually services that are offered from other businesses around that person. So now the practitioner can even help them to make recommendations, and there's a commission shared that when businesses put their services in our platform, they define a percentage of commission that they offer to our practitioners. So then our practitioners will have access to all of that. So now I've built a business model for them that they can be in this program, and they have access to products. They can benefit from our inventory. We'll drop ship for them. They don't even need to store products in their businesses, and now they have access to all different types of services. So then they don't need to be running a big business to want to have access to all different things. Now they can just do a scan. And now they're empowered by an entire network, from medical doctors to dentists to anything, you name it. Like, we have it within the network that they can refer to and get a commission back based on, of course, for medical offerings, that's illegal. We can't have a sharing that way, but this is more for like the holistic services that our practitioners are offering. So that's the ecosystem that we created.
So the first step is the practitioner does the scan. They use this software. The software analyzes the data, gives them, the information on the patient or whomever it might be, and then they can go ahead and figure out the best treatment plan or whatever that is.
Exactly. And then now they're even
so Gaia Healers. Sorry. So Gaia Healers is the software, the network, the service sharing, and the products.
So now, because of we've been just creating all these different things in the in the last year or so, We had to create different URLs for different, like the directory that we created, we called it GaiaPractitioners.com. So that's the directory for our services. And then Gaia Healers is more like our e-commerce right now. But from Gaia Healers, there's links in like the menu that connects them to the, the different ecosystem. But our goal is right now to bring everything together. But right now we're on a couple of different platforms. And then from where you are in the directory, you can actually log into that and then actually see the software that will analyze the data.
Got it. And they need to be trained to use this software.
Yes, they need to. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory because they just got to know how to connect their accounts.
Right. I think that I'm looking here at the BioWell training courses.
No, you're in the wrong place.
That's what it is too.
Do you want to share your screen and I will take you to the right place? I had all the links already filled out in my form. I'm surprised you haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, no, I saw them in your form, but it's so many pieces.
I know
that are sort of separate, and that's why I'm just trying to make sure I understand collectively exactly what it is and how the pieces all fit together.
Okay. Yeah, if you share your screen, I'll make it easier for you to kind of like fit it. Okay, so do you see it says find the practitioner?
Yes.
If you go there, this is our directory. This is GaiaPractitioners.com.
Right. Okay.
I don't see that screen as well. Oh, there we go. It comes. So this is the map for our practitioners. This is a directory. And then you can, for example, put in your zip code, and then you can find some of our practitioners that are around you. This is how we market them.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, there were just so many pieces, and as I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I can kind of understand how it's all coming together, this whole network. But again, it's a little, like you said, you have different platforms, different URLs, kind of different websites, all of that kind of thing. So I just want to make sure that I fully understand.
Yeah, so what we have is we have a directory, we have a software. The directory and the software are together right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the front end is the directory. When you log in, you log into the software that analyzes your data, that we have our own marketplace now that is like Amazon.com, that holistic practitioners can launch their products there. That's our shop. And then the login, if you click on sign up, then they can either sign up as a practitioner or as a business. And then as soon as they're done signing up, they will have access to a login information that once they log in, then we'll ask them for like their BioWell username and password. Once they put it in there, do you know about the BioWell at all, of like the technology? Have you looked at that?
I was looking at it, yeah.
So then that will analyze their data. It's automatically like syncing their data, their scans in, and then it's helping them to analyze it and make recommendations. And then we've added an AI feature to the program that will look at all the systems that need attention for the person, and then using AI, they can create all different types of guides, from their nutrition to like yoga poses to specific meditations to you name it. We can customize that to anything for anyone.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
And now this right here, this is what moving us forward now to have our directory that we can send practitioners to. And we have a few hundred, practitioners that are within the States right now. But now also the goal is to have our own a wellness program. So now our wellness program is based on a remote technology that we have just have acquired. And with this technology, they can purchase this as a wearable device that we can send it to their home. It's $4.99 for the device itself, and then for $14.99 a month, they will have access to tailored, holistic information about their health and wellness. They will get information about their about their chakras, about their energy body. We'll give them information about their autonomic nervous system, and we give them information about their heart rate variability. And we can tell if they're if there's any low-level chronic inflammation that's starting to appear in their physical system. So this is a program that we're building now that customers very soon will be able to go to sign up and create a customer account here. Right now, we have to create a customer account for them as the system is there, is functional right now. And then what we do is that they will create their own custom website. And then our network of practitioners will be guiding them by assigning them weekly tailored meditations based on their energy centers or emotions that they have issues with, based on the analysis that we're doing remotely from them. And we are providing them custom meditation music files that will, their frequency files that will help to align them. And we'll provide them with recommendations of services around them and products that they can start using to really like bring themselves on the top of their game. So that is a very, very large push that we want to have in, towards the last quarter of 25 and 26. Like I want to put a lot of focus on that personal remote health coaching program that we're creating now that's nationwide.
Yeah, it seems like it's different than other devices, other wearables, like, first it was like the Fitbit, right? And then everyone started wearing an Apple Watch, and now they have all different ones. This one does your chakra, more your energy field. It seems like it's even everything kind of on the surface level that we all know.
I get you. I think it's good now.
Sorry, I just lost you for a second on my monitor. Hang on, I'm gonna.
No worries.
Sorry about that. I accidentally unplugged you. Somehow plugging you back in so I can see. Okay, I totally just switched computers there. Something weird happened with our internet yesterday and they like upgraded it, so it's been a little bit glitchy today. That's why I had the other computer ready to go. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back.
Awesome. Where are you looking?
Okay, yeah, so I was saying, yes, the device, you were telling me more about the device and how different it is from everything else that we've seen so far out there.
Yeah, like we don't have anything right now that measures the chakras or the biofield or the autonomic nervous system. I mean, we have HRV devices that are out there, the Aura Ring and like the heart math monitors, things like that. But the technology that we have is 30 years of medical research is behind it. And it's an FDA registered device. It's a class 2 medical device registered by the FDA. So, and we have the exclusive rights to it in North America. So now, from the BioWell, BioWell, that was my journey. That I got introduced to it. I went through with it. I learned about biofield, this and that. But now, the more and more that I get deeper into research, and I work with high-level, multi-million-dollar companies that want to do research on their technologies, on their modalities. We are working with Hollywood, with movie producers. I work with sheiks in different countries. Like I work with very, very high-level people now, and what everybody wants from research is that they want to understand. They understand the biofield, that I can do the research with the BioWell, but now they want to understand, how is that information manifested in physiology? Because when we study the biofield, we're looking at information that haven't necessarily manifested to the physical body. These are things that are like in the field that we still have a chance to like push them out before they actually manifest and make us sick. So that's the research that using the BioWell I was able to do. And BioWell is a very limited technology again, because chakras and our energy is such fascinating science that like I don't believe there is a technology that's built to be able to truly interpret it. But at first BioWell was good for me. I was really good doing research with it. But the more I wanted to understand like real-time biofeedback from different systems as like different type of informations are happening, or like real-time movement of the chakras, because like chakras are, a chakra means wheel in a different language. So a wheel is something that turns, rotates. So then if there is something that's always rotating, if you're just taking like one picture, then we're not really getting that full information. We're just getting a snapshot. Imagine of like a moving car and just taking one picture and trying to make sense of how fast it was traveling. It's impossible. But
Yeah.
once we can see, when we're looking at the energy field, we need to have real-time data for real accurate information. And for that reason, I've always been researching to understand if there is other technologies out in the market that are, even more advanced, that can help us, draw more information from the field. And recently, I've been introduced to a new technology, which is called biopulsar. And biopulsar is a device that measures the biofield in real time. So we can see the chakras moving in real time. We can, for example, have a person that's holding a supplements or a medication, and in real time we can see how it's going to influence the energy of their liver, kidneys, and everything else. So very, very fascinating research, and it focuses a lot on the aura, which is that electromagnetic field that's being emanated from the system. So with BioWell, we only researched biofield, but now using these new technologies, besides the biofield, now I'm able to get into the aura information and real-time data from the bioenergy, which is really game-changing, going from still image to like having a movie, like that was a big jump.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
now that's like I'm actually working on some contracts right now to get the exclusive distribution ship for biopulsar in the United States. They have agreed to give me the exclusive partnership there. So then that's a technology that I would really like to focus on to introduce to the US market, not the BioWell. Because the BioWell was like, when I was a newbie and was working for me. But now I want to have a lot more information to share with humanity. And I don't want to discount it. I don't want to like cookie cut it to, I want to give them the full image, the full picture. So that's where biopulsar comes in to research with that.
So I want to ask you what is like the one big idea that you want to share with the world? Because I feel like a lot of it is around like, having control of your health, having like that autonomy. And that's a lot of what I'm hearing. So what is that for you? What would be like the one big idea you'd want to share with the world?
My message to the world is that we are the most advanced technology that exists. And all we need to do is just learn how to work with our own system. And we just, if we understand how to work with our own system, understand our thoughts and our emotions and how they influence our health and wellness in real time, then, we don't need any other technology. That we are the ultimate technology that exists. But my mission is to use technology to educate us about the power of our own system, because now we live in a day and age that people need proof. They need scientific proof. They need a graph. They need something visual in order to understand something that is non-visual. It's energy. It's invisible. So in order to communicate that, then we need to use technologies to make it a little bit more tangible for people. To just like me, and being a software engineer, like I needed the technology, I needed the data, I needed the science to allow me to accept that, yes, I am the ultimate technology. I am the person that's with my thoughts and emotions is making the influence within my own system. And I don't need to use like any of these devices anymore. I just, I've tuned myself. I have empowered myself as a person, that I am in touch with my own senses, and I can understand if something is, for example, if I'm thinking the wrong way about a person, then I would realize that is related to an internal organ or a system that I have that's not functioning the right way. And by changing my diet, I can eliminate that instead of being reactive to somebody else. So that's truly my mission, is to help humanity realize that, we are the ultimate technology, and we have source, we have God that resides within every single one of us, which is the ultimate source of knowledge and information. That once we come into disease, once we come into areas in life that is not resonating with our higher selves, then that means that we're getting away from that light that resides within every single one of us. And all we need to do is come back to our true selves and get reacquainted with our higher selves. And that is the ultimate solution to healing.
Awesome.
So I like the
Um,
technology, but I don't like to enslave humanity to technology. I'd like to use technology to empower people. That's my message. That we shouldn't
right.
be like biohackers that they want to just technology, technology, technology. They give away their own power to a technology to want to change and shift themselves. No, it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
We should use the technology to empower
Yeah.
ourselves so we don't need the technology and we can continue doing the work. So that's like that's the
Using it as a
biggest.
tool, not relying on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of
Not
the
not relying on it for.
exactly. And one of the, do you know Brian Johnson?
I don't. I
Okay.
saw that you put him in your questionnaire though.
Yes, he is. If you go research him, he started this movement, which is the
Hmm.
complete opposite of my movement. And like he's very, very like millions of followers. He's very, very up there now. And but all he does is that like
Hmm.
he educates people on like taking 100 supplements a day and use like fake lights instead of sunlight, like do red light therapy instead of
I got
sunrise
yeah.
meditation. So I am like the opposite of that. I am about teaching people how you can get up 6 o'clock in the morning, go sit in front of a sunrise, and the angle of the sun that would hit you is the most powerful healing red light therapy that you can
Yeah.
experience in your life. So
I know who he is. Now that I'm seeing him, I know exactly who he is.
so my vision needs to be the opposite of him.
Yes. Okay.
Like I want to fight that guy. Like come on, let's bring it. Let's do a challenge. I want to see who's gonna be younger.
I know. I can't stand that guy. Me and my boyfriend were like, oh, this guy.
He's like that robot. It's like
If
what the fudge.
I know he's such a strange person. My boyfriend was watching something because he's a rock climber and he's watching something on him, the best rock climber in the world, or him like doing certain fitness tests. And every time he couldn't do something as well as the other guy, he was like, "Oh well, I hurt myself." It was always like this excuse around it,
Yeah,
which was
right, right.
hilarious. If people could walk away with one sentence about you, what would it be?
about what I about what I taught them or how I influenced them. And Nima
Yeah,
changed my
about you,
life.
just about
Nima
you. Like if someone,
Nima changed my
yeah,
life.
if
Like
so,
that's the
yeah,
line.
no, yeah, exactly. That's what we want. Like, if someone met you and walked away, what would they be thinking? So yeah,
Because
totally.
that's my like I've always my all my friends like growing up, that's how they've been. They
Hmm.
travel, they come stay at my house for like a month or two. I train them, and then they go and launch their businesses and they become like multimillionaires. So like that's my journey in
Yeah,
life. That I've always been just kind of like I love to change people's life, empower. Like Nima empowered my life, and I love to empower humanity. That's like my goal too. That's what I love to do. To
yeah.
to wake us up to our true
You're
sense.
yeah, you're very much about like service, empowering people and service as well. And
Absolutely.
it's interesting this kind of world, I think, talking a lot about like the science and the logical background that you have and like needing to have that level of understanding, and then kind of this spiritual world, which like we're seeing kind of more and more of these two worlds come together, you
Hmm.
know because I do feel like I do agree with you. I think people they need answers. They're like, okay, I don't want to hear about this fluff from God knows who. I want to like see the actual results.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
what
so
is the
many fake
science
people out there
behind
now. Oh, do this, do that. They're gonna be, but they want to see. They want to see tangible results. They want to see
it?
science.
Yeah,
They want to see graphs. They want to see numbers because that's what they're used to. In schools, that's how we're trained to accept information,
yeah,
and they test us. And if we don't pass it, we can't get out of school. So we have to speak their own language to them.
yeah. Who do you feel like you can help the most right now,
Anybody going through a
or
healing
maybe who
journey.
needs help?
Anybody going through a
Anybody who
healing
what?
journey. Anybody going through a healing journey. Because now our mission is shifting. We started as a wellness platform for practitioners to come together and like collaborate. But now creating all these different business systems and trainings and educations. Now we've become a personal development platform. That a person that
Mhm.
just like me, when somebody gets a crisis, a healing crisis, or something that happens in their life that they're like really need help, they're searching for answers, like that's a Gaia
Mhm.
seeker. So we just created a new
Yeah.
community called Gaia Seekers. A Gaia seeker is Nima,
Mhm.
is men. When I was 33 years old, when I was just got diagnosed with the news that they gave me, that's where my journey started. So that's a Gaia seeker,
Right.
and the journey is to take a Gaia seeker to a Gaia healer, to make him a multi-million-dollar holistic wellness practitioner. So that's a journey that we're creating now with education, with training, with business training, with like giving them access to customized CRMs, to business programs, to really, really empower them and truly change their lives, so that when they go through this journey with us, they can really change their lives, become healthy, and then become a healer to help their communities become healthy.
Yeah, because I saw you said something about, kind of like the bigger vision being healies becoming healers.
Exactly.
And now we're kind of talking about that transformation. So those practical steps would look like healing themselves, then going out, using those or implementing those modalities, whatever it is, to then go and continue to heal other people.
Absolutely. And this is the journey that a lot of people that come to our community are going through. At first is them, they work on themselves, and then they start to help their communities. And I mean, that is truly healing. We're all one. And once we can understand oneness, that we are all one, I mean, that is the biggest part of that whole healing for the entire humanity.
You have so many gifts and just so many things going on, and your journey is just amazing, and that's really as simple as I can put it. But I'm wondering, what is your one main superpower?
One main superpower, I would say entrepreneurship. That's my superpower.
Being able to take that idea, making it profitable, actionable.
Yeah, taking it from A to Z. I have that gift. I'm a generator manifester. I don't know if you know about human design.
Yeah.
So I'm a master generator manifester. So I can come up with ideas, and I can bring them actually to reality.
Yeah. What's your daily routine?
I wake up with a specific type of meditation. When I wake up in the morning, before I open up my eyes, I try to think about everything that brings loves into my life. And then I do a 20-minute meditation. That is about 18-minute meditation. That is 3 different 6-session routines that I do a breath work of 5 seconds inhale, 5 seconds exhale. And for 6 minutes, I focus on my breath, just to be able to regulate my autonomic nervous system and bring myself more into a parasympathetic state. And there's all scientific research behind this. I can show you all the data, blah, blah, blah. So that was the first part of the meditation. And then I do another 6 minutes that I'm breathing, the 5 minutes inhale, 5 minutes exhale. And I think about love. And I envision anything and everyone that brings me the good feeling in life. Could be my pets, my wife, or a business partner that I'm really vibing with, that's really helping me get my mission accomplished. So I envision all of those. And I also envision people that may have issues with me, and I send them love. I put them in the light of love, so that we can take care of, hopefully everything comes back to the higher state. And then I do another 6 minutes of meditations, and I focus on I'm usually, when I'm meditating, I travel to there is a park near my house. There's a beautiful lake that there's a walkway that you walk like right in the middle of a lake, so all around you is water. And then I sit there and I meditate. I just listen for 6 minutes to the sound of the birds. So then that way I can get out of my own mind and I can connect with the universe. And that becomes a very, very powerful session. So that's usually what I do my routine. And then I do I got to activate my autonomic nervous system now to get it more in the sympathetic mode to start my work. So then I usually do infrared sauna or like an ice bath to get my system activated. And then if I have time, I do a 30 to 40 minute just cardio and lightweight training, and then I start my day.
Okay. You mentioned that you want to be the #1 biofield expert in the U.S.
I am the #1 biofield expert in the U.S.
Or you are the #1. Yeah. I'm wondering, are there any other, there's always room for growth, and you've made that clear, but what other milestones are you looking to achieve?
So my mission is to truly understand the human, bioenergy, and how we can influence ourselves without medication and through natural ways that are non-invasive. So I love to work with sound, with light, with senses, with different ways that we can influence our senses. What was your question again?
What other milestones do you want to achieve?
So now what I'm really focusing on, I believe that I understand biofield to the point that not, too many other people are there to understand it. But now I want to understand the physiology of the interaction of the biofield to the physiology. Because there's a lot of research that's being done on, let's say, somebody that goes and gets a Reiki session, that right after the session, if they do the research before and after, they see that there's some changes that's happened. Maybe the person's chakras are more balanced or some improvements has happened, but we don't know how long that actually lasts, and like how long or how often does that need for that to be repeated to actually have a lasting effect that manifests to the physical system. So that is a huge question right now that we don't have an answer for it. And that's really my focus of research and attention, to be able to connect the energy world, bridging spirituality with science.
Is there anything in your industry that you stand against? I mean, I know we kind of briefly talked about it with, what's his name? Brian Johnson, sort of like using other things to
I don't like we have access to, we need to be more in touch with our mother Gaia, and that's like another reason that I called our company Gaia Healers, was because by working on people, by elevating their understanding and their perception about our reality and how we're in touch and how we're all one, that we influence each other. Our environment is the biggest influence on our health and wellness, based on the research that we're doing. So then, being kind to our earth and doing things the right way, then all of these are creating these coherent fields that all of us can thrive and survive together.
Yeah, I'm curious, is there one way or another you'd want to be remembered as? Like, I'm definitely hearing you're, a teacher, a researcher, a movement leader. Is there one of those things that resonates more than the other, or are we really looking to kind of string all those things together into continuing the movement?
A light worker. I mean, it is a definition of a light worker, that I'm a researcher, I'm an educator, that is the definition of a light worker. So yes, I want to be remembered as the best light worker ever existed. That brought a lot of light to humanity.
Yeah.
That's the biggest to me, yes.
I know that's the biggest thing to you. Great. So I know moving into more podcasting is like a big goal. Are there any podcasts that you'd like to be a guest on?
I've always wanted to. Joe Rogan, he's always been a person I wanted to be on his podcast. I know he's up there, but he used to be he was in Orlando. I used to go to his events when I was a kid here. So just to see his journey and it's really fascinating. A lot of people tell me, and I was actually talking to one of your team members, that she was telling me Robert Kiyosaki, or no, what was that guy's name? Yeah, he is Robert
Kiyosaki.
Yeah, he is in somebody that there's a lot of kind of types of research that I do, and then I do events with Bruce Lipton, with Greg Braden. I haven't been really big into the podcast game, so I don't really know what are the big podcast people and things like that.
Yeah, I definitely, I was thinking Dr. Chatterjee has one. Do you know him?
Chatterjee.
It's called Feel Better Live. It's called Feel Better Live More, but he has a really great podcast. He's he's based out of the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was someone who I could definitely picture you being on. Obviously, Jay Shetty, I think, would be a big one too.
Jay Shetty, that sounds very familiar. Which one was
that? He has he has the #1 health and wellness podcast in the world, and he.
Oh yeah, I know Jay. Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Jay Shetty, Dr. Chatterjee, I see them being you definitely being a guest on these podcasts here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I've done a lot of research.
Our team knows who to reach out to and who to kind of what niche to put you in.
And I've done a lot of research on energy of environments. So like through my one of the things that's been really like the people I've been fascinated by is I've traveled to almost all of the sacred sites, and I have measured on the BioWell we have a monitor. It's like an antenna that can measure the energy of environments. So that's something that a lot of people are interested in, of understanding like the sacred sites and how they influence healing in people. So I've gone to Egypt from Gaia asked me to go, Gaia TV asked me to go to Egypt, did a 3-week research there from all of the different pyramids and all of the sacred sites there. That was a very powerful research that they launched it on Gaia TV. I have I've gone to Chichen Itza, I've gone to Machu Picchu, I've gone to the Stonehenges, I've gone to Rapa Nui or Easter Island to do the research there. So I have pretty much been in all of the sacred spots that like I love that. I love to take people there and like educate them about ancient civilizations, about like how, because when you go to Egypt, it's so eye-opening. I mean, there's like, it's clearly in front of you, it shows you exactly how they created us. I mean, it's just like so many fascinating information that I feel like when people travel, that unlocks like different parts of their perception on their reality. And unfortunately in the States, like, we don't have too many people that actually like travel to different countries to want to learn about other cultures. We're just travel within the States.
No, we don't.
So I would love to get people to travel more and to understand about how other people live and other cultures, so that, you know, we're not becoming this separated, like, you know, community from the rest of the world.
Yeah, I agree with you. Gabrielle travels a lot and I do too. But when I was in my 20s, I'm originally from New York, from the Hudson Valley near Woodstock, a small town. Okay. Then I went to school at New York City, and then I moved to New York City, and I went away, and like, I just had I like traveled alone for the first time, and I got this crazy travel bug. And for years I would leave for 6 months and come home for a few months, and leave for 8 months and come home for a few months and work at this bar, and leave again for a year and come back. And like, I've just like, that is something, it is always there, you know, it's always there. And I totally agree with you. And it's interesting because people are always like, oh my God, how do you go to all these places? That's crazy. And I'm like, you just do it. Like you do anything else. It's book a flight.
There are people, they talk, you know, you can't communicate.
Yeah. What do you mean, you know?
That was the biggest thing in my life, like traveling and living in different countries from my journey of coming to the States. Like that was a powerful, like a movement to really create me and shift me as a person that truly like loved humanity and understood like everybody. Because otherwise I would have been more closed-minded on like, you know, what I've been used to. But just life giving me that chance of going through that and really experiencing different cultures, different religions, I think that was the biggest thing that happened to my life.
Yeah. No, it's the biggest. For me too. Like the most learning that I've ever done has been in being by myself around the world, like figuring it out, and honestly having that level of discomfort as well. I think that's really. And
I always say, if you're living in your comfort zone, that's when you're dying. If you want to live, you got to be outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Of those sacred sites, did you feel more of a pull towards one versus another, or was it different everywhere you went?
Yeah, the pyramids in Egypt, I felt like I was home. I didn't want to leave Egypt. I want to go back. I wanted to, like, at the airport, I didn't want to get on the plane. It was such a homey feeling.
Yeah, I know. It's the worst.
Yeah. I wanted to stay.
I've just down to Sinai. I went diving in the Red Sea down there, but I have not been to the pyramids yet. So I need to make my way there next time I'm in the area.
Definitely. Yeah, I went to Sharm el Sheikh. We went there after Egypt, and that was beautiful there. Yeah, so it was snorkel and all that.
Yeah, stunning. I remember it very, very well. I have like some videos of it, me like diving in the water. That water is incredible.
Yeah, it was a fascinating trip.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that's
I
another
know
part of me that I have to travel the
podcast-
world. So I've like seen all
yeah.
different religions, cultures. Like that's another thing we need to focus on me.
Yeah. So kind of going back to podcasts, I know you're moving through with Gaia Healers. There's all these different things that you're doing with that, kind of stepping into podcasts. What other things, like what other areas do you want to focus on? Do you want to do more speaking? Do you want to, create more community? Like what is the kind of the next step goal with that, or things that we really want to focus on?
So I'm big in community building. I'm big in bringing people together, and because one hand doesn't have that much noise, but if you can put a couple of hands together, then you get a lot of big impact. So that's a big part of my mission, is bringing people together and have people build communities, and this is
Yeah.
something that I have been really guided to have people create local communities, and we're in the process of creating our own nonprofit that we are creating farms that we will be. We've already purchased a farm, and we are in the works of putting it together. So we're creating a movement for healing meals that will get the community to come in and to plant the food, to cook the food, and we provide it to families that are going through terminal illness for 16 weeks. So that's a big one to me as well, to really focus locally and create and help people realize the importance of local communities, because from what's been shared to me in my meditations and things like that we have to come to places that we can support each other if there is no technology, if there's no power for us to be able to move forward. So these are ways that that's another big mission for humanity, for people, bringing people together and building those communities so they can be self-sustainable.
So community
And speaking, yeah, I love speaking. I love to be able to be in front of people and share. So yeah, I love to do speaking events as well.
I'm just asking because I'm kind of thinking about your site and the navigation, like what we're gonna have. Like we obviously always have an about and a contact page. We usually have like a speaking and media page, depending on what the person does. If they have like a book, we'll have a book page and so forth. But I think having like something like your ventures, because you have so many different businesses and ideas and things are continuing to flourish. So I think having a ventures page would be beneficial for you, because you can always add things and take things away as
Exactly.
you transform in your business. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of wanted to get to some of the visual elements for your site. I know like you already kind of discussed some symbols, the flower of life, seed of life, that kind of thing being like, important symbols to you, 1111 numerology and things like that. In terms of like the look and feel, how do you want people to feel when they go to your site? Do you want them, I kind of like to think of it almost as like a room in my house. Like, would you want them to feel cozy? Do you want them to feel like motivated? What is that
Motivated.
initial feeling?
Yeah, motivated.
Motivate.
Yeah, I like to put a fire under people's butt, get them moving.
Okay, I want to ask you actually some like rapid fire questions. And I'm just going to give you two options, and you're just going to tell me which one you resonate with, okay? So it's just going to be a bunch of different stuff. We're going to just go through this list, okay? Okay. So, dusk or dawn?
Oh, tough one.
Stumped him on the first one.
Dawn. Actually, hold on. Dusk is when the sun is rising, right? Or is it when the sun is setting?
No, dusk is when the sun is setting.
Okay, so when is the sun is rising? That's it, yeah.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Dawn? Okay. Calm or electric?
Calm.
Minimalist or maximalist?
Oh my God, there's so many. These are tough choices. Because in some situations I'm minimalist, in some others I'm maximalist. It's like, it's hard to pick.
Yeah.
But ideally, I'd like to be minimalist.
Okay. Soft edges or sharp lines?
Soft edges.
Moody lighting or bright and airy lighting?
Bright and airy.
Mountains or sea? It's a tough one.
That is
for
a big tough
all
one.
of us.
Mountains or sea? I love water, so I have to go with sea.
Forest or desert?
Forest.
A city skyline or the countryside?
Countryside.
Warm tropics or cool alpine?
Warm tropics.
Okay. And now I want to jump into some symbols and archetypes.
Okay.
Wolf or eagle?
Eagle.
Fire or water?
Water.
Sun or moon?
Sun.
Rebel or ruler?
How about a rebel ruler? Ruler.
Explorer or sage?
Explore.
Oh no, where were we? Here we go. Okay. Coffee shop or cocktail lounge?
Cocktail lounge.
Dream office or dream vacation?
Dream vacation.
Analog notebook or a digital tablet?
Digital tablet.
Private island or a bustling city?
Private island.
Speedboat or vintage car?
Speedboat.
What do you usually wear? Like, I see you're wearing a polo right now, or a button-up shirt, it looks like.
I like to dress up, so I like to usually be in like suits. So I like I don't like ties, but I like to like suit, button up, the casual dressy. That's how I usually dress. Not like a lawyer, but more like a chic entrepreneur. I like to wear like a
Okay, I like that.
yeah, like maybe like black jeans, maybe with like a suit jacket with button up, or a t-shirt and a suit jacket with jeans.
So the jacket is like the staple.
Yeah, I love jackets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you usually wear color, or do you kind of keep it pretty neutral?
I keep it neutral.
Now, with color outside of your wardrobe, what colors do you typically resonate with?
Green and purple.
Why green and purple?
Green is the vibration of love. Purple is the vibration of source.
Are there any colors that you don't like?
I love all colors.
Are you, like, what are your hobbies? I know you said when you were younger, like wakeboarding, playing soccer,
I'm still a
things like
wakeboarder.
that.
Yeah.
You're still a wakeboarder.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
You said you love the ocean and you live in
I just
Florida,
upped my boat
so.
to a professional boat, so I can jump higher when I wakeboard.
So still a wakeboarder. What else? Anything else? I know you love traveling.
Love traveling. I'm a soccer player. I still play soccer, and I'm a very good soccer player.
You love your pets. What kind of pets do you have?
I have a dog. I have a Shiba Inu. I love my dog. I love cats.
I love those dogs.
Yeah, she's so cute. I love animals. I love I have birds that they come visit me when I meditate, and I feed them. We have rabbits around our house that come visit. So I love wildlife. I love animals more than I love people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What tone do you want to convey when people come to your site?
Loving,
Like, I know you
confidence.
said, sorry, go ahead.
Loving, confidence.
Loving, confidence. And I know we talked a lot about, I'm pulling so much stuff, like empowerment is kind of the main thing, but what other values do you have or are important to you that you want us to convey throughout your brand?
But for me, maintaining my connection to source is extremely important. So everything I do in my life, like, it has to be through that connection. So that's what I love to, and that's what I learned when I was 18 years old, when that lady came to my life and she started teaching me how to meditate. Then I started to, like, I would feel so amazing when we do the meditations that I would like, oh my God, like, I've never felt like this in my life. And I would ask her, I was like, how do I make, like, I want to always feel like this. Like, I don't want to just want to come do the sessions with you here to feel like that. I want to, when I go home every day, I want to feel like this. How do I do that? And that was my teaching of how to maintain my connection with source. Because, like, when I would go to meditation, I would, connect, and I would have that connection strong. That's how I feel amazing. But then I would come, go with my friends and go to Miami and party and this and that. And then that connection would, kind of like get lost. But then through my years, I really learned how to maintain that connection. And to me, that's I would love to maintain that. I would love to convey that to people, that their connection with their higher self is the tone they set for everything in their reality.
Yeah, and you did say earlier about, wondering how you could reach purity in your lifetime. Do you feel like you've reached that?
I feel like I'm very close. I feel like, there's still when I reach that, I believe I will start to shine, and I would, and I,
Yeah.
I believe that's how Jesus, like, Jesus went through, and he, came through to the point that he lived forever. Like he get to a point that he truly became light. That once we can truly let go of our, um, of all the different things that are like making us limited and making us think that we are actually living in a physical world, then that's what takes away from our vibration and our light. But the more and more that we can realize that this is not a physical world. This is kind of, we're in a model in order to experience different things that we want to experience in order to get to the completion. So then, by looking at it that way, then that's my mission. Like, how Brian Johnson says, don't die, I say live forever. Because if we can truly hit, and we can truly maintain our level and our energy body, and we can truly purify ourselves, then we will become light, and light lives forever.
Yeah. I just have a couple more questions before we take a break and I work on your visual components. I saw you said your ideal clients are like women 24 to 60, holistic practitioners and so on.
Probably go 35 now. 20, I think 24 maybe a little bit lower. So probably around 35 to 65 plus. We usually get like a 30-70% ratio. 30% men, 70% women.
Okay. And of those men, like, what are they? People who are in the holistic space? Are they people who are, like you said, kind of where you were at when you were 33, like looking for answers?
A lot of them are people that are kind of like, me going through that journey. There's a lot of them that are doctors that are like, just practitioners that they wanted to bio-well to do research or to do, more. But majority are women.
Okay.
And I mean, that's my audience
and
anyways.
If you had to give a TED Talk tomorrow.
And one thing you don't know about me is that...
women. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
I used to be a cosmetologist. So like when I was when my parents were running the medical school, actually I wanted to help my mom so much. Then I went and we had some really awesome like clients that were there, like family, that they were there for years. So then some of them would get cancer and they would lose their hair, and like they would lose all of their confidence and their lives would like shatter. So I was like heartbroken when I would see women that are going through and they're losing their hair. So I went and got my specialty in hair extensions. And I would work with people that were going through cancer, and I would like, give them a full head of hair so that, they were all, they could like maintain their confidence and all that. So I've always loved women. Like women are so special to me because I believe women are so much more enlightened than men. And for some reason, that's who I resonate with. Yeah.
If you had to give a TED Talk tomorrow, what would it be on?
My life journey.
And lastly, if you met someone at a party and you were just going to give them a 1-sentence elevator pitch of who you are, what would you say?
I'm a light worker.
Great. Awesome. I feel like I could talk to you all day. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love your vibe. I could talk to you all day too.
Great. Well, unfortunately, there's only so many hours in the day, but right now what I'm going to do is we're going to take that little break that Gabrielle mentioned before. I'm going to just kind of pull some things together and make a little bit of a Pinterest board. Might be like a little messy. We're going to go through it after about half an hour, and we're going to get your temperature check on things that you like, things that you don't like. And this is really going to be inspiration for me to then send to our designer so that they can start building out your design for you. Okay. So yeah, we can take a break now. It's 2:28. We can come back at, or for you, it's 5:58, 5:28. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we can come back at 6 if
Perfect.
That works.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and we'll touch base. So I'm just gonna put you in the waiting room for now, and then I'll let you back in half an hour.
Sounds great.
Great. I'll see you in a bit.
All right. Talk to you soon. Hi. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I am good. Getting some work done.
I lost you for a second. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just getting some work done.
Oh, that's what you took your time for the break for, to do more work?
Yeah, I love it. See, when you love what you do, it's never work, right?
True. Awesome. Well, I pulled together some thoughts again to kind of start mapping out what the visual components are going to look like for your website. And just keep in mind, these colors are gonna, you're gonna want them to kind of reappear throughout your brand as it continues to grow. So keep that in mind as we're looking through everything. I'm gonna take you through this Pinterest board.
Okay, can you give me 1 second? I have a graphic person. Let me have her come and take a look real quick.
Yeah, sure.
All right, just 1 second.
Do you want me to send you the link to send to her, or does she have it?
You can send it to me later, but yeah, she's watching right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Great. Awesome. So yes, so we usually take it in a couple different directions. So our designers will present to you 3 different options, and then we'll pick one the next time we meet, and we'll kind of go through, things you like, things you don't like. So this is just a little bit of, I just kind of, from our conversation, threw a couple things together. It may look a little bit messy, so don't worry about that. Okay. But I'm just going to start from the bottom, scroll up, and kind of explain as I go through the whole board. And then we'll stop, take a look at it again, and then we can kind of start and stop. And I want to get your temperature check. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and we'll take it from there.
Sounds good.
Okay. So starting at the bottom here, this idea of light kept coming up over and over, so I definitely want to play with that. Whether that's sort of colors of light fading from one into the other, or having sort of an illumination effect on you once we have your photos and everything. So I definitely want to play with light, which is why I have a lot of these images of like the sunrise, the sunset, a lot of it over water, because I know you have this connection to water, but overall feeling really grounded. We want your site to feel grounded, stable, that like people are going to come to you and they're going to be able to get the answers that they want. One direction for color that I was thinking about going in is sort of using purple as like a baseline, but having some orange and yellow in there as highlights. So maybe your CTAs are like orange and yellow or something like that, or there's like a gentle fade in the background from one color to the next. So those are some options for color palettes. In terms of a logo, I know we'll probably have your name, but I did want to pull from the flower of life, the seed of life, just showing you kind of some different things we could come up with here. For a logo for you. Obviously, some of these have, kind of softer edges. Some of them are like,
See, like the one at the bottom, how it's like only 1 and then it goes to 2 and then it goes, that's kind of like the journey of...
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
See, that first one is just like the first person that's going through their transformation, and then, they start to get help, and then they start to become empowered. And then towards the end, that's when they become the healer.
Yeah, I was thinking that we could use something like that almost as icons, as like we're explaining what that journey is, and using like, this is sort of the first step, this is the second step, and the third, and as you were just saying, and using them, maybe this symbol is going to be less of a logo and more as like the icons and showing its growth through the journey and its path.
Okay.
So yeah, I just wanted to give you a couple different options, seeing kind of what they look like. I also pulled a couple of just sort of like sprouting plants, things of that nature, different styles, some that have a little bit more negative space than the others. Just some general kind of symbols of like, community, travel, togetherness, all these things that make you you. And just coming up here, a little bit more with the color palette and some like actual websites instead of just the color palette, just to kind of show you how colors can kind of blend from one to the next. Like I really liked this one here, maybe not those colors, but kind of how the light is moving towards her on the right side here, which is something that I really like. This I really pulled because I just liked the way that they did the logo around the E, less about the website and the color palette, but I thought that was nice. And it sort of has this like soft background on the very top of like the print of a leaf, which I liked.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
And then just some of the fonts. I pulled the ones that you said you liked, pulled some other ones. I know fonts are always kind of a weird thing to think about until you see the copy on the actual page, but just to get some ideas here as well.
Okay.
Where are we? Oh, yeah. So that's one of the options in terms of color and what that could potentially look like. Here is a website example that I used as the baseline for another client that she really liked, just kind of showing you how this purple can be a cooler purple, a warmer purple, that kind of thing. Another option would be like that green that we had talked about, because I know purple and green are also my favorite color, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Nice.
But just kind of figuring out, do we want to do a cooler green, a warmer green? I was sort of thinking something that was a little bit warmer, a little bit darker, and then having accents of like an orange and yellow, kind of like this here. So a little bit more of like an earthy tone, but still clear with the colors as well. This one all the way to the right is a nice one as well. Kind of going into almost a little bit of like a gray undertone, and then just other kind of symbols and motifs and things of that nature too. I did kind of like this earth meets sky, just like those sort of more earth tones. Feels very nurturing, I think, those colors like this, could be an option for like a third direction to go in.
Okay.
But totally up to you. And then yeah, just a guy speaking on stage, you know, we usually have photos like that, especially on like the speaking and media page and that kind of thing. But I'm just gonna go again from the bottom, just because that's where I have all the color palettes. It's sort of easier to start there, and then we'll scroll up, and then let's just, you know, stop me, tell me what you like, what you don't like.
Okay. I like the sun idea of having the radiation. It's kind of like that movement there, and then
Yeah, I definitely think having the sun is also, you know, it's our energy source, and then that almost creates like the texture, kind of like, you know, maybe behind you there's a little bit of texture that's also creating.
yeah, and it's almost like the four elements, right? You have the fire, the earth, the air, the water. So then if those are like respected in the page, then, you know, I do a lot of research on sacred geometry and on like vibration of imagery. So then we can have like, you know, I'm sure, you know, you're good at that too, but we can do a lot of subliminal type of messages like within the page that will, you know, help to deliver the message to the audience.
Yeah.
I like the color palette there, the purple, yellow. That one looks nice.
This one or this one?
The one on the right.
This one right here.
Yeah, I like the combination.
Yeah,
of the
using
image on
purple
the top,
as,
kind of like.
yeah.
But I like
Yeah,
to
and we can
kind of like have a green in there, but yeah, there's no green. So I don't know. Like I like that one, and then I like the green one too. Maybe a combination.
Yeah, the green one over here is like kind of how this could maybe be a little bit brighter. But yeah, having the purple, the green, maybe like the orange or yellow is sort of the accent without it getting like too crazy or too distracting.
If you go a little bit higher, I was looking at the other palette you had. Yeah, that one right there.
This one?
Yeah, and the one next to it.
These two.
Yeah, those look kind of nice too.
This one,
I love that one. That one I get
kind
a really good feeling from that one. That one has like all the nice tones in there, like the Gaia tones, you know.
I like how this kind of comes together in the background with like this reflection, almost this reflection of the water with that brighter green looks really nice.
Yeah.
What do you think of this with the really about the purple and the green here? Is this like too dark, this plum color?
See, colors are vibrations, right? So when you look at when we look at the color chart, when you're right in the middle, that's the balance. So now if you get darker, then people that are kind of like less balanced will be attracted to that. So who would be coming to this site? People that are in search of spirituality and healing. So then those are the people that they're attracted to the color green and purple. And now the brightness of the green and the purple will have it changes the frequency.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this one here. See that purple on the left next to the pears?
Over here?
Yeah, the purple and the green there.
Yeah.
What
They're a
think?
little bit softer.
So yellow gives people confidence. When there's yellow color in there and they see that gives them that subliminal message of confidence. So then go a little bit higher.
To the website.
to the website section you had?
There's a couple up here, and then there's a couple at the bottom.
Yeah, like that one there. Yeah, like that one in the middle, but with more hints of purple. Like there's like too much green in there.
Yeah, this one, yeah, it definitely needs something else. But I think I like kind of not, I think for you, it's like, I don't want to go too dark.
Right.
I definitely want to keep the life
Keep
in
a
it,
light
and have,
in there.
have some of a little bit of maybe not stark white space, but like kind of like a softer, whether that's like a softer yellow or like a softer shade of green, like playing with that. And then adding another color like purple, I think would be really nice.
The transition on the one on the left, yeah, that one.
One?
Yeah, that one, the transition looks good.
Yeah, kind of almost creating like a shadow here in the bottom, but then getting lighter as you go towards the top.
And then like maybe having like that sun like kind of like on the top, that's like having that gradient, like bringing light into darkness.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the fonts up here?
Minimalist fonts pairing, which one is that one?
Oh, over here to the left.
The one, the elegant and the minimalist?
No,
Not the elegant?
Over here, like these two font boards.
No, not the elegant one. The one on the left, the minimalist font pairings.
Okay. Yeah.
And go a little bit higher. The one that says, was it Celio? Clio?
Yeah, I think Clio.
That one is like nice and like modern, and just the top part. The bottom part is too.
Yeah, I think the bottom part, it's like almost a little too dainty, but I think if there's like a combination
like that.
of this
Like that's more.
with something from the minimalist pairing, that would be really nice, because it's kind of softer, it's not so abrasive and aggressive, but still strong and bold at the same time.
Exactly.
I think we can find a combination of that.
Yeah, the Celine font, that one, like I like that one too. Kind of like the combination.
Yeah, they're similar, and like they have a hint of playfulness, but also it's like, we don't want to obviously get like too dainty.
Of course.
But I think that we can definitely find something, and we'll kind of look at it too, like, once I see the site as it's sort of coming along, and if like a whole block of text just looks too one way or another, then we just try something else. But I like these as well. I wanted to throw in something that was just a little less bold, because I know this was something that the Montserrat you had mentioned, and I like it and I use it a lot, but it can be very bold. So maybe that's better as like a headline or something like that.
And if you could somehow, like within the design, showing the connection or the bridge between the spirituality and the science, because like I don't want it to be like my image to be just too much on energy, because I'm a doctor of natural medicine and I'm doing a lot of research on like physiology and things like that. So I don't want to just get like the energy medicine image. Like I want it to have more of a wider like scope.
Yeah. I worked with a doctor who was a computational biologist. She's from China. She's a computational biologist who kind of had a couple of the same steps as you, where she her grandmother was Buddhist, and she's been to like all these sacred sites, and kept training with all these monks, but then went to school for computer science and engineering, and uses AI to make drug discovery faster, more efficient, and more cost effective. And we kind of had this interesting blend of like all these things she does into one, which I can show you before we get off as well, because her site is live.
I kind of like that person journey. I like the pyramids, the person house, like showing the roadmap of the different areas. If you could show like the different avenues of Gaia Healers that they they'll have access to, so they can have a visual image of what they're coming into and what we're about that personal development journey.
Yeah, it's almost, because it's like the path, but it also is like a tree, and it's like, which branch of the tree are you climbing up? And I kind of like that metaphor as well, because you were talking about that seed, and like that them being a seed and then blossoming into a flower, which I think that this was sort of an interesting take on those two ideas.
Yeah, and on the pyramid image, the color combination, that's a beautiful, like for going from the purple to that, the sunlight.
Yeah, Yeah, this is up here on the top. Did you want to go back to anything?
No, I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, so I think we'll go with almost that combination of like this sort of purple and green, and then maybe another one where we have more of like an orange and yellow in there as well.
Yeah, so orange and yellow are more like representations of the like the physiology of like the earthly energies, and then the green and purple are like the heavenly energies of the spirituality. So then like it's like the green, that's where the heart chakra is, as that's where they meet. So now
Mhm.
if you're using the orange and the yellow and then the green and the purple, then like that would kind of like have that journey there too.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So I'm gonna just stop sharing my screen here.
Yeah, how would that palette look right there? If that middle color was changed to a green, would that look weird?
Which one?
The one that we're looking at from yellow going to purple?
Over here, over here.
Yeah, right there, the one you're selecting.
The left, to the left, yeah. Changing the orange to the green.
No, the one to the center.
Oh, okay, here.
Yep, that one. See the middle color? It's got this like I mean it's a nice color, but I kind of want to get the green in there somehow.
Yeah, we can definitely get the green in there. Yeah, our designers can take everything we said and just come up with something new, which is the nice thing. I can be like, we'll take this blue and combine it with this green and this, and this tone instead of this one, and they'll be able to come up with something. So I can point that out to them.
Perfect.
Yeah. But you are like comfortable with having the purple and the green and some of the orange and the yellow.
Yes.
This is gonna be fun.
I
We
know,
love
right?
color. I've been getting a lot of clients lately who've been wanting like black and gold, and we're like, no,
You
you're
know, I
not
was
like-
actually thinking of black and gold. But
I don't know what it is.
because
Everyone-
because of the first video, the first website you guys showed for Dave Asprey, that's like a black and gold. So I feel like you're
Yeah.
just like subconsciously programming everybody to get black and gold.
I know. You're so right. Let me show you Lou Wrong's, because she has we kind of did some interesting stuff with her. Yeah, so this is one that I really liked here. She had her symbol here. She wanted something like about for nature, so we kind of did this like leaf for the P in her name. Having that kind of like spiral in the background. She had a lot of symbols that she really connected with through Buddhism, and through her life and things of that nature. But she like really wanted to have this sort of like soft kind of like green blue into like a pink. So we weren't like, she's a powerful woman in like a male dominated world. So we wanted to use the pink as an accent, but not as like the main color. And this is just sort of like what her site came to be, which we're all really loving. But yeah, just kind of how it fades sort of from one thing to the next. And like this is an example of what I would want to do with the flower of life symbols, is like kind of have like this is the first thing that they do, this is the second thing, this is the third, and then them kind of following that journey and using it as symbols instead of maybe the logo option for you. But yeah, this is just an example.
Like here, do you see like the circles that you're using in that image right there behind her? Like if you could use different types of sacred geometry and like flower of life patterns, that would be really cool if there.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Metatron
This
logo
would be
is
great.
another logo that we use. So if we use the Metatron, as far as like the background or something, that's something that we resonate with.
Awesome.
Actually, that could be my like how she has that logo for herself. It could make like almost like a Metatron logo for me.
Yeah, we'll play with some stuff. This is going to be really great because I feel like lately everybody's been wanting like just their name, which is totally fine. But it's like fun because I haven't really worked with anyone who was super passionate about having a logo. And like maybe you will just choose your name, but it's nice to have a couple options.
Yeah, definitely. And my last name, Farshid, that means sunshine.
Okay.
So you can use that if you want to somehow play around with that.
Yeah, very fun. Great. Well, I'm going to stop sharing and just kind of take you through some of the next steps. So from here, you and I will meet every 2 weeks for 4 times. We'll have 4 alignment calls. They will be 2 weeks apart.
Okay.
We try to keep them on the same time. So, we usually do them on Thursdays or Fridays. So it'll be like, we'll do them every, Friday at 1 p.m. or whatever. And we'll try to stick to that time. Of course, if anything comes up, we can adjust.
Okay.
That is generally what we will try to do. Do Thursdays or Fridays typically work better for you? The calls last about 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes if they're really quick, maybe half an hour.
Probably Thursdays.
Thursdays? Okay. So I'll send you a couple times that work with my schedule. I'm about to offload a couple clients, so my Thursday slots are going to open up quite a bit.
Okay.
I'll take a look and I will have our project manager reach out to you. I believe it's Tanya. Yes. So Tanya will reach out to you with some options for times. Do you have a photo shoot scheduled? I don't know if they talked to you about that.
No, not yet.
Okay. So photo shoot is definitely something that we want to get in the book sooner rather than later. We've found that the photos usually take a little longer, and between having the shoot and then having the photographer edit everything, so we really want to get that going so that we're not held up in this process and we can stay on schedule. Okay. So just try to schedule your photo shoot after we have our next call. That way you can see all the colors, and as we pick a direction to go in, you can kind of make sure that that's cohesive with what you're wearing.
Okay.
And we'll also send you a photo shoot guideline just to kind of show you what exactly we're going to need. We usually try to ask for about 12 to 15 images. If you have other photos that you haven't yet uploaded to your personal brand command center, which we'll send over to you again after this, okay. It's just that whole Google sheet with all of your stuff. Add everything in there, and if there's other stuff we can pull from events you've done or stages you've spoken on or anything like that, that's also really helpful for us too, because we can use that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously Slack is our main source of communication, so if we have any questions for you, we will ask you through there. And if as things sort of are simmering and you're letting it all marinate, a lot of times stuff will start to come up. So if you feel like, you forgot to tell me something, or you wanted to, let me know something, or you change your mind or whatever, just tag me in Slack and let me know, and I'll get back to you.
Perfect. Sounds great. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you.
Of course. Can't wait. So excited to see how this all comes to life.
Yes. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, I'll talk to you soon, Nima.
Sounds great. Appreciate you, Lila. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Talk to you later.
All right. Blessings. Bye.